Hi there, my name's Steve McClure and I'm a BMC member and a BMC ambassador. So I first joined the BMC probably about 30 years ago, maybe more, I can't remember, it's a long time ago, but it's definitely many years ago. Something I can remember from the last year or so was something that really stuck in my mind as absolutely one of the best climbing days I've ever had in my life, and that was climbing Cenotaph Corner with my two kids up on the Cromlech in North Wales. And it's such an iconic route, one of the most famous routes, and a route which I'd known about for my whole life. And to climb that with my kids, who had a great time as well, was just such a special day, as good as any of the hard climbs I've ever done. Brilliant. As a BMC ambassador, I'm really keen to get involved with the access side of arrangements. I think for me, the access really is so important. I don't want to see that getting taken away at any point. So as much as I can do, I'm always willing to get involved. So going forward into the future, one of the big things the BMC has to do is just make sure that all climbers from all areas, all backgrounds, and whatever they want to do in climbing are all completely involved. And climbing is growing so fast, that's a lot of climbers. And it's going to be hard work to incorporate everybody, but we have to. We're the representative body for all climbers.
Welcome back to the big depot here in Manchester for the 2026 British League Climbing Championships. We're live for the under-17s lead final for these young climbers out on the mats doing the observation at the moment. This is not just about performance on the day today. This weekend plays a crucial role in the GB team selection. Stakes are high for the climbers, and every move on this wall is definitely going to matter if the semi-finals was anything to go by. It's all set here in Manchester, and I'm delighted to be joined once again by legendary competition climber, Team GB Olympic coach, route setter and commentator Leah Crane.
I am ready, Mike. I think the climbers look ready, and I'm quite excited that we actually get to watch the under-17s first and then move on to the seniors later.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as well, because one of the routes, the under-17 boys, is shared with the senior females. That's on the far right-hand side of the wall. Like Leah said, we will get on to the seniors after this stream, but first we've got the small matter of the under-17s to go by, and there were some absolute crushers if the semi-final was anything to go by. Leah, men's was really hard. Top scorers Spike and Oliver scoring just 30 plus, and in the women's it was really nice progressive route, but Jessica Ward totally dominated.
Yeah, absolutely. In the boys, there was two clear front runners in semis, and it'd be cool to see if that trend continues. Again, we are on the women's route. It looks powerful. There's not many footholds where you want them. Will we see a repeat of the semi-finals with those two really pulling ahead? We shall wait and see. And in the women, whilst the route was really progressive, there is a really clear split in the middle of the field with an almost 10-point lead in between 4th and 5th. So
yeah, this one has the potential to be wide open. You never quite know. In semi-finals, as we saw in the seniors, especially in the men's, there was a real stopper move. The route setters have been working really hard since semi-finals. There's been a team of 6 of them absolutely going at it here at the depot to get these routes ready. And we can now see the athletes on the mats. They are down there doing the collective observation. So a bit of housekeeping then. The big depot here in Manchester, relatively new venue. On the guys there in the start list, they will be on the far right-hand side. This route is mostly with black and pink all the way through. Starts towards the left-hand side of centre, trends its way on just the most horrendous-looking undercut section, leaning rightwards. And it's just undercuts for days until they get into the head wall. Then it looks like some actual holds that might be physically possible to hold on to, but pretty small, and into a really cryptic end with some horrendous looking holds. 6 minutes observation. The route on the far left, that is the under-17s females. That's the one you can see there in the blue and red holds. A lot more sort of classic looking potentially, a bit more obvious to read potentially, and a little bit more straight up than what the guys have got. Yeah,
and we did have a look at the climb themselves just before we've come in and settled ourselves down into our couch. There is maybe a bit of a complicated move in the middle. Again, talking to Zoe, one of the route setters, then you might be seeing a couple of different ways of doing a feet first move. There might be people getting themselves tied in knots. It does trend on a similar line to semi-finals, so we'll see how that actually plays out mentally for a lot of the climbers. It does trend back left towards a big side pull off some small holds, but there's toe hooks involved and releases, so hopefully the climbers can just put whatever happened in semis behind them and really pinpoint focus on finals and giving it their all.
Yeah, the route setters had that kind of dream moment in the semi-finals with Jessica Ward, the final climber out, the only climber to top. It was a great show for sure, but it definitely put Jessica way above the pack in terms of the level that she seems to be at going into this final.
It has, but that does add with it a pile of pressure. You know, she's topped the semi-final route. Can she do that again in the finals? She will potentially be able to hear in isolation if some of the other girls are getting higher, if there's a clear leader, and who that might be. I think there's always a certain amount of anxiety before you come out to a route, especially when you can see maybe some of the clips swinging as to a bit of a clue around where the previous climber got to. But it'd be great to see
that from a coach.
Yeah. It'd be great to see her pull it out the bag again, and hopefully any of these girls could take the title. But Jessica really did seem out ahead.
In the men's competition, Spike Forward, who we mentioned earlier, and Oliver Phillips, and both went through to the semi-final with the same score at 30 plus, and the next 3 behind, all essentially on the same move, 25 or 25 plus. Really not much in it between climbers number 1 and 6. And Oliver and Spike way out with 5 extra moves on top.
Do you think that was down to a route reading ability, let's say, down below on the boys' semi-final route?
Yeah, the boys looked really uncomfortable right from the get-go. That route, it looked very, very difficult and cryptic from the beginning. And I think people were a bit of an early punch in the face, that route. You just have to be like, whoa, okay, here we are, we've arrived at the British League Championship semi-finals. It was really awkward, and they really struggled to get into a bit of a flow, I think. And it was just those who could deal with that early phase of the route, got things moving a bit more comfortably like they might expect, is what we saw from Oliver and Spike, and that's how we saw them progress an extra few moves.
Yeah, I guess taking one attempt to do a move versus maybe 3 or 4 half attempts and not figuring it out quite as quick and it feeling wrong is going to be better. It's not going to zap you as much. You're going to make more progress up the wall. And again, are we going to see that trend? It looks a bit more obvious about what you have to do, but it looks way more powerful than before.
Yeah, this wall here, you can see it right in front of you. There's a sort of steady intro, but then it goes into a massive 55 degrees overhanging section before things just ease off slightly towards the head wall. And the route setters have really looped this route around. It's like a giant S trending rightwards in the middle then before coming back left. And it, to be honest, it's a lot of moves in the steepest section. And although these lines here, they might not be sort of 15 meters high that we've seen in some of the World Cups, it's not that far below, but they've used every inch of panel they've had available to them.
Yeah, they're stacking the moves in here, and I guess it does need to be a similar length to the internationals so that they can get used to that level of climbing and that climbing for that amount of time with that many moves. But I guess this is why it's such a good comp to do pre-season, to actually get your eye in, figure out where you're at. Do you need to do any tweaks in training?
Yeah, what's crucial about this group of climbers we're about to see, this isn't for the British League Championship title, that comes only for the seniors. This is purely about team selection. And to be honest, team selection at this stage in their careers is possibly more important than walking away with a medal to their name.
Yeah, this is the one that actually gives the younger climbers the experience. And it's so hard to enter the seniors and kind of get a really good foot in the door if you've not had the experience on the wall in competition in the juniors. So anybody that's going to do well here and gets the selection has got that golden ticket to invaluable experience in comp.
Top words from Leah Crane, you can tell why you're an Olympic coach. First climbers are heading out here. They've put no expense spared. There's a huge lighting rig in place. The atmosphere is fairly intense. There's stage seating just behind the climbers, but they are quite close to the wall. So this one is feeling pretty on the edge of your seat stuff. First climber out is going to be Elijah Ashworth in the men's competition, wearing 18 on the back of the bib, and Alicia Land in the women's. They are running simultaneously. Alicia just a little bit behind. Looks like she's got the thumbs up. They are off, and a little slip actually straight away, just out of shot there. So a little bit of a nervy start there for Alicia Lund. But here we go then. Alicia on the top right and just screen, and Elijah Ashworth.
Yeah, and the setters look like they've given the boys a little bit of a nervy start on this as well. It's not your typical grab a hold and climb. It's this next section is thumb above your head.
Yeah, this move here, just literally pressing above your head, standing on the sort of big sphere volume below, then potentially just a little pop out left.
However, the pop out left is a bucket, thankfully.
Yeah, you'd want it at that low down, to be honest. This is it's like a little test of nerves just early in the route. Sort of, thanks for coming.
Is it a jump?
Deal with
is it
this.
a lean?
Yeah. Or is it somewhere in between?
Oh, Alicia just looking a little bit lost. She's got a really kind of good undercut hold out right, the big blue one, but looking like she's just struggling to commit getting there.
Yeah, Elijah, no such issues with commitment. Sort of just stood there for a while, really figured it out, but then just gave it the full beans leftwards.
Here we go. Nerves are settling. We'll give them a few minutes to settle in, and then they need to get their act together.
Yeah, they've only got 6 minutes, so at some point they're going to have to get on with it. That's the thing about these sort of dynamic moves in routes. They do give you a good landing hold, and they can be quite a comfortable position to stay in, but sometimes that is quite difficult to leave at the same time. You have to decide at some point, with a massive 55-degree overhang in front of you, you're going to have to get off the comfy seat and get moving.
Quite literally, I think speed's your friend through this steep section, but accurate speed is your friend. He's going quite high away from this clip. He's managing it anyway.
Alicia Land sort of really struggling to find some flow. She's currently on the fifth clip, excuse me, just trying to figure out his sequence. It's Elijah. That looks like a hard rollover to the left hand.
Oh, well held by Alicia. Looking like she wasn't entirely sure what to do, but she is holding on. We have been told by the route setters it's a really good hold, but this is the section where there was an intended feet first sequence. She's just managing to not match in there.
Trying to match her way out of trouble. It was a real battle to get to that stage, and sort of on borrowed time there for a minute. We can just focus on Elijah Ashworth. He's into this horrendous looking undercut section. It's like an overlapping volume. The big black Not sure what sort of shape that is, like some sort of Death Star
And here's
hanging
the-
down. Oh, another
here's
big move sideways.
Drop down, but he dropped down the wrong way. He's dropped all the way down.
Yeah, sort of like it's sort of a committing move down and right, and he almost sort of threw to it, but just came up short, almost underestimated that next move.
I think the climbers that can really put the pedal down through that section and get to the good hold and like regain their composure will, well, I mean, they've only got another couple of moves and they're back into footless undercuts again.
It is a strange section of climbing that. It is downhill essentially for a while.
There has been a couple of drop downs in this competition today.
Yeah, really sort of bicep intensive undercuts through the steepest section of the wall.
I mean, we are here to test them. This is a selection event. You are only going to get the best going through.
On the sign up form, nobody said this competition's going to be easy.
And also, drop down moves aren't something that you get in a normal commercial setting environment. You're not going to get that at your local wall unless you start making moves up to train specifically for comps. Yeah, you can probably train it in bouldering, but this is where having that creativity as a junior can really start to come into fruition on climbs that are just slightly more out of the box because it's meant for international competition.
Yeah, that point really backs up your earlier point of just exposure at this level. I mean, many of these under-17 climbers are competing internationally throughout Europe in the European Championships, European Cups, and some of them
winning.
Yeah, and doing really well, but in lead and boulder. So they are getting exposed to a lot of stuff. But it's really great to see an awesome facility like this putting on incredible looking routes that are taking up some serious real estate, each of these routes across the wall.
So we've got Eli Hook making his way up to second clip for the boys, and we have Polly Taylor heading it up for the girls.
We've had Alicia, Eli, and Elijah. Oh, the 3 E's to get us going. So if we get through this stream in the first next 5 minutes without tripping over any of those, we're doing well.
So Eli and Polly. Again, let's see if Polly can actually gain some traction on this start of the final. Alicia was just struggling to find a bit of flow before.
Yeah, Eli's got that awkward pressing section. Once you get comfortable in there, sort of like an arm bar press, it is quite comfortable to stay there, get the clip, and you are stood on a massive ledge, but you can see him eyeing it up there, but no issues, absolutely no issues at all. Just took his time, controlled it, and just went with confidence.
Yeah, Polly definitely making faster progress. Getting her eye in.
There's one of those, that left pinch is on. And so many of the women had troubles on those holds in the semi-final round, and we had a couple of huge casualties, including one of the favourites here in the for the seniors. Iggy Rinaldi really struggled on that type of hold.
Yeah, that was a heartbreak. She actually made the clip and then fell off the next move. Head in hands. Eli just entering the section now where you don't want to be hanging around. Really good body tension. Needs to keep his feet on. Figure out where he's going to clip from. Whoa. Looks a little bit indecisive there. I'm not sure if he was kind of panicking a little bit about how to get that clip or grab the hold.
Second climber out of 8 already done in the under-17s males as we focus on Polly. Worked her way through that awkward section quite nicely. William Duncan will be out next. This is Polly at the moment, looking really good.
Yeah, so entering the toe-up section, talking to Zoe, the route setter, this is where we start to move out. Yeah, bring the feet over with a little bit of like a pumpy, crooksy little bit here before we head up into some more, I was about to say, more powerful moves higher up. You need to get into the undercut, get your feet up high. Just not quite getting there for Polly. So two down in each category. We have 6 to go. Polly just looking up, maybe wondering what could be. But that's it, done and dusted. And we'll see where that leaves for her selection for this season.
So the middle route you see there, nobody climbing on that at the moment. That is the senior male final route that will be coming up after this stream. William Duncan then out next, along with Maya Chapman. Right, pressure building in this semi-final already on these awkward routes.
Into the action, off the floor they go. Oh, it's always hard to get into the floor when you first step off the floor. It really gives you an advantage if you can get there quickly.
Especially on routes like this, they really do seem to have set these kind of fully intensive, awkward starts.
Oh. William looking a little bit more tentative than what we've seen some of the other climbers here.
Yeah,
Could be a height thing.
Fitting into the box quite well at that point, but it is further to jump the shorter you are. No such issues in the end. Just, yeah, a little nervy moment. Imagine if you're William's coach or parents, friends or family. That's not a comfortable position to be watching from.
Had a very sweaty hands.
Yeah. Maya's looking really solid through that sort of jump move into the right-hand shoulder there.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Just a little bit of rope drag, bit of an issue, but just find a way through it, just matching your way through those holds. Route setters potentially looking for something a lot more funky than that, but...
Yeah, I think they were looking for a feet first. I think the blue is just too big. They can match. It needs to be tiny for them not to match.
Oh, every hold just snatching at now.
She's got the good three-finger drag on, though, so she's in a good position to not be powering out too much.
Really nice route reading from Maya.
Oh. Not sure if that was a route reading over there from...
William.
From William.
Or Duncan William. 1, 2, 3, 5 draws up only there. Long way to go to trouble the scorers into the sort of upper echelons of this route. And Maya Chapman also comes down. Not bad though. Possibly in keeping where she's qualified through from the semi-final round. Another 5 climbers still to come.
Yeah, we've had a high point from Polly. There, just getting a plus into the red circular volume section. And Maya Chapman just coming in second behind. Again, we are sat next to the appeals desk.
Well, they were very, very busy during the semi-final round. In the men's senior semi-finals round, 4 or 5 appeals all went through, and it was an appeal that actually got you into tonight's final. So we're looking forward to seeing the seniors final half an hour after the conclusion of this event. But with 5 climbers still to come, the Team GB selection for these under-17s on the line here. We are live from the Big Depot in Manchester. Next climber out, Ethan Maxfield struts onto the stage, looking positive. And Bella Ryder is going to be joining him to his left.
Again, he's just taking a few minutes just to retake in what they looked at in observation.
Yeah, you have that 6 minutes observation, right? But then you just walk away. You must have done a lot of work on this as a coach. But how much of that actual, there's 40 odd moves there. How much of that do you remember, and how much of it is just kind of, well, that looks complex, I'm just going to have to go and wing it when I'm up there?
I mean, there's some climbers out there that can remember it move for move. If you're like me, memory like a sieve, I try and identify the important parts. Where does the crux look like it's going to be? Are there any rests that seem really obvious?
Yeah, when you're going to have to think tactically, when you're going to have to climb fast, that sort of thing.
And also, what are we going to do about these clips? Where do you need to clip from? And it's such an important question that can sometimes be overlooked.
Yeah, clipping is just such a crucial element, obviously, in terms of
safety.
Not falling to your doom. But in terms of just the way that a clip becomes a move as part of lead climbing, and sometimes the route setters play with that. They make a clip quite tricky, just to add difficulty to the line.
I mean, we are talking about clips a lot, but for some of these climbers that are going to go to international competition, some of their comps are going to be outside. And then you've got wind as an element with your clips flying around everywhere. And it's just really silly little things like that. Is like, have you trained with swinging clips? And it just gives you that edge, that advantage that can sometimes make or break your comp.
Yes, you mentioned it earlier, but when you see the rope being pulled down from the previous climber and the drawer is moving, does that give you an immediate high point to think, I've got to get to at least there?
I mean, it plays on your mind, but again, it depends on your psychological approach as a climber. Good catch by Bella there. That was a big pop.
Yeah, real positivity. It goes for the chop under. That's better from Bella. This is what the route setters expected, a little bit more so. Reading it really nicely.
Yeah, and actually, it almost looked a bit easier for her there. You wouldn't necessarily suggest that feet over your head is easier, but actually meant she could flow through it.
Yeah, exactly. Move with positivity. As Ethan battles with that left hand, we're starting to see that particular move causing a number of different issues. Bella still going well here.
Yes, we've got to tie it in the final, but that will be sorted out by the count back, with Ethan coming in second and Eli taking third at the moment anyway.
So this final for the under-17s is halfway through at the moment. It's been rapid, to say the least. Both climbers getting sort of 5 or 6 quick draws into this route. Absolutely rattling through it. 4 climbers still to come. Mia Gallagher, Florence Nuttall, Brooke McMeekin, and Jessica Ward in the under-17 females. Ben Livermore, Arthur Ogden, Oliver Phillipson and Spike Fullwood still to come in the boys. The isolation zone for this massive lead wall is directly behind where the climbers come out and climb. It's a huge bouldering area. Oh, there we go. As if by magic. We've got a camera back there. Yeah, that's where they prepare. And the belayer will bring them forward for their 6 minutes on the wall. Seniors are behind there as well. They've got multiple hours in that isolation zone, the seniors, before they get their chance to climb this evening. Fairly nerve-wracking place to hang out.
Mia and Ben making their way onto their mats. Last time that they'll climb for tonight.
The White Spider squad, superbly well represented here. White Spider's a good climbing centre down in the south of London. Just that strong contingent of female climbers that seems to be dominating the sport around the UK at the moment.
Yeah, I think when you really get some traction with some of the local climbers, they start doing well on national, international stages. It really inspires the climbers all around them, and they all kind of club together, and it's
Yeah,
really
it
good
just
when you can
brings them along,
train
doesn't it? Yeah.
with each other and actually share the same highs, lows, anxieties,
Just awkward rope
joys.
position there. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
The rope has just got a little bit caught under the volume, so needs to get that released first.
That's where he needs to use his foot.
A little bit dangerous here at the moment, actually. There we go.
There we go.
Nice footwork. Didn't seem too phased by it, to be honest. I think the B-layer might have been more nervous than the climber.
There are mats on the floor at this particular gym, Big Depot, Manchester, which is that's quite nice. It's not a hard floor straight down, which is like it is at most walls.
So Ben Livermore in that group of climbers on 24. Oh, missed the jump.
The hips came out really far from the wall there.
First climber to miss the jump. Really unfortunate for Ben. Just 4 clips into that one.
I think that's going to play on his mind a little bit.
Right, and what's interesting is the speed that this semi-final final is going. The next climber in the isolation zone has got to get ready. Everyone has to be ready immediately. There's no kind of like, oh, I think we'll just chill out here for a bit. There's the one that's rattling through.
No, and I think as well, they're going to be fairly warm from doing semi-finals. I think you'll just want to start warming up the crucials, your fingers, making sure that you've done some dynos. You've got a bit of a vague pump. You don't want to do too much for a final, in my opinion.
That's really nice from Mia.
Bit of a knee scum.
Yeah, how she's managed to just get a bit of a drop knee in that. It's a really awkward tweak of the knee. Really good route reading, though. Shows a level of understanding of climbing.
Saying it's a knee scum and not knee bar because the route setters have placed the foothold perfectly, just the right amount of way to not be able
just
to.
at the wrong angle to knee bar. Knee bar is where you wedge your leg essentially between your foot and your knee, and you can take, usually, if it's a good one, you can take a bit of a rest.
Right, let's get some speed on here, man. Let's get some moves in the bag.
Every move is sort of tensiony, precise, requires a lot of route reading.
Just getting a few shakes here. She needs to really keep this composure.
Awkward move, this one. Oh, goes for the deep cross under. Nice. Left heel looks sketch, though. Still fighting, really good. Oh, decent battle.
She's matching that high point with Polly, so she will take the lead on Polly due to count back and coming out later in the final. Me just refreshing my app, making sure that, yes, there we go, into the top spot.
Yeah, if you do want to keep a track on scores, obviously we're going to bring them live to you on the screen, but you can do it yourself if you want to flick through the various categories, look at previous results. The website is bmc.results.info, and you can see the British League Championships as the live event there. Give that a click. Use a separate screen, obviously.
Mia is guaranteed
Don't lose
fourth.
us. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant for Mia. I mean, she's in fourth place going into this finals, and she remains in fourth as it stands. But I think this route is looking pretty hard, and that's a decent high point.
It is a waiting game for her now. She has to sit and wait. And I guess it's not nice kind of hoping that someone else is going to fall off so that your position improves. But she's done what she can on the wall. It's all out of her hands now. And the next climbers, it's about them and the moves in front of them.
Yeah, Mia Gunnar actually given 26 there, with Polly Taylor who's got the 26 plus. That one's really tight. After Ogden, in the meantime, third to last climber out.
Interestingly, on my app, I've got 26 plus.
Well, I'll hit the refresh button and let's see what happens.
Oh, no, they've been taken away.
Yeah, it's been removed, yeah. Okay. Judges got their work cut out straight away. Judges are literally standing right in front of us here. A stone's throw to the wall. And it's a brilliant atmosphere here at the Big Depot, as Florence Nuttall was one of the group who really pushed through in the semi-final route for the under-17 females. Score of 38 in the semis, with only Jessica Ward, the only climber, going higher than that. There's that rope again. Oh, really smart work there. from Arthur.
Yeah, good to have that awareness, especially when you're so focused on not falling off this kind of jittery start of the wall, is actually still keeping in mind that you need your rope to come with you.
The skill set is so varied on these routes, isn't it? Like, gone are the days of just sort of doing 40, 50 crimp moves in a row and just snailing your way up a wall for mega endurance. Like, everything's so awkward and complex.
It is bouldering on a rope. Like, you know, you will see these moves in a boulder comp, but you've just now got 5 or 6 of them stacked on top of each other and you've got to tie in.
Arthur's just trying to figure out that move. He's actually got a high left foot. It looks like he's going to pounce off the left foot that could push him out from the wall, but gets it done. Nice.
Yeah, Florence just...
Yeah, campsing about.
I was going to say, she's she looks like she's got the beans to get through this the way she wants to.
Interestingly, the rope's actually wrapping around her right hip there. It's on the wrong side of her body.
And she will need to do a bit of jiggery pokery.
Yeah, if not, if she falls there, she's going to take a bit of a nasty spinner. Now she's just realised that she's done, because she's spun, the rope's wrapped around her hip. That is going to slow her down. We saw in the semi-final a couple of real issues when it came to clipping positions.
Oh no, it's just around her... Oh no, it is round. Yeah. Oh gosh. I think it was around her chalk bag.
Okay. Seems to have resolved it one way or another. Arthur now trying to push rightwards. This is the move here we've seen so many struggle on.
Yeah, coming into this undercut. I think that looks like a better way around of doing it rather than going to the pink first.
Elijah Ashworth, one of the only climbers really to get through this next section, but we haven't seen anybody really doing much when it comes to dropping down to this jug.
Yeah, so this is where, in my opinion, he needs to make sure his hips flick into the wall so that he's got enough time to latch and drop down. Here we go. Oh, and he's missed it too. That looked like a really good setup, and it was just a fumble.
It's a weird move, isn't it? It just looks like it's just right there, and it's a positive hold.
Here we go. High point for the girls.
Yeah, Florence looking really good here. Big shout to Come On Flo. Decent left-hand undercut, but another awkward clip here. Just sort of in that panic space now. Looking at the clip, not sure which hand to go off. Dials the right thumb into the bolt hole to try and get a little bit of extra purchase.
Clips. Second attempt at the clip. Oh, that's going to cost her a little bit. And this is where her double clipping, this is where her training, her fitness training is going to really pay in, especially when you're having a couple of attempts at getting the rope in.
Right arm looks pretty gassed.
And this will be, when you get so pumped, it's really mind over matter. It's, can you ignore how pumped you are?
Trying to dial in some sort of knee bar there. Don't think it's available. It's a good battle. It's definitely a new high point. Potentially a podium at least.
Yeah. 33. So if she's given the plus, I will wait to find out. 33 plus on that.
Yeah, with just 2 climbers still to come, pretty much.
Yeah.
Bronze medal, as it were, is guaranteed. Remember, the under-17s are fighting for GB team selection. The official under-17s British Championships is later on in the year for the youth. When it comes to the seniors a little bit later, that is for the title and for team selection and who gets to go to the World Cup. So it's tense here this evening.
Yeah, I think emotions are high. I think we saw quite a few upset athletes, shall we say, earlier on in the seniors and the under-17s. Everybody just put so much effort into the training through the winter. There's a lot of sacrifice, and when there's an error, slip or something, you know, the setting isn't quite what you needed it to be, if there are any kind of weak points in your climbing, it weighs heavy on you, because it is lead climbing, you only get one go and you can't rewind that clock.
into the penultimate pair. Then Oliver Phillipson out next, along with Brooke McMeekin into the top twos. Then things are about to get really real. And I can see appeal sheets coming running past us here as well. We'll keep you up to date there if anything changes.
So Oliver, along with Spike, who's out next, was one of the two clear.
Yeah, one of the standout athletes from semi-finals, for sure.
Chalking up very early. he's done one clip and we're chalking.
The panic chalk.
The nerves.
Yeah, just settle into it.
Yeah, I definitely think he's feeling the pressure a little bit here. We're chalking up every move.
I wonder if he knows that this final was really rattled along. It's gone quickly. If he just thinks, I just got to get every move dialed here. Just focus on the lower half.
Yeah.
You know, going guns blazes into this point probably isn't the right technique.
No, and I think it is easy when you see a jug on a route. You do think like, oh, okay, well that's a given. You know, that's going to be okay. But actually, that's the move that spat most people off. Not the move that he's just done, but the one a little bit later on, the drop down to that. And I do know that Spike, who's coming after him, has got a very strong bouldering pedigree. He isn't short of a few moves in the biceps.
Yeah, you would have thought Oliver Phillipson is going to feel the tugging on the coattails there, you know, metaphorically, because he is coming up straight after him.
Well, Brooke also reading the feet first method. Just flowing through here. Again, not something that you typically get at your local walling setting unless something's been specifically set for you to train on. So it isn't straightforward. It's not easy to read if this is one of the first times you're doing it.
Yeah, we have seen the better climbers really sort of engaging with that sequence quite well, though, working their way through it quite smoothly.
A lot of cheering here for Ollie, for Oliver.
Oh, foot slip.
There's a foot slip.
Just a foot slip.
Not the place to lose tension, and
Huge
unfortunately
upset.
that has happened for him. Spike will know that he is down quick.
He never looked in the flow, though, did he? We thought he might just be taking it cautiously, but just didn't seem to be clicking there.
Brooke taking the cut. She's got extra, but she's reading the section a little bit differently. She's not done the cross through, but again, she's making it work. And a hand slip for Brooke, left hand coming straight off.
My God, this is brutal. This is, at the moment, this is like an 8 metre under 17s final on an 8 metre wall. Wall here is topping like 40 odd moves. And we're on 21 plus on the men's, not even halfway.
So that does sit Brooke in third position currently, ahead of Mia, even though they've got the same score. So with Jessica Ward still to come, we need no errors from her to that point, obviously, so that she can make the podium. Again, this is selection event for the world stage. These climbs are not a given. They're not easy. I feel like sometimes it's kind of easy to be like, oh, you know, the next bit looks all right, or those holds look huge, and when you're on the rope in person, it's just not the case.
No, it's definitely so steep, that wall. It's one of those walls you stand underneath and your neck hurts quite quickly looking backwards. So 21 plus is the men's score. Both Arthur Ogden and Elijah Ashworth on 21 plus. The drop down move to the jug out and right. So Spike forward has got to hit that hold and control it to win this event. And Jessica Ward is looking for something much higher. I think it was 33 plus, was it? 33
yes,
plus.
33 plus.
Yeah, Florence Nuttall, which is high up into the upper
on
third
the
of this route.
She needs to get off the sausages and to take gold.
That's not a sentence I thought I was going to hear today.
I'm a visual climber.
Jessica Ward then really using the maximum amount of time available at the base of the wall just to control herself. Knows she's got to put in a decent fight here.
Yeah, plodding through both again. Well, Spike sorting.
Yeah, he saw the flick of the rope.
Out.
Yeah, do it again. Belays have definitely got their got to keep their wits about them at the bottom of the boys' route here. Got to keep these climbers safe. Spike almost no hesitation.
Chilling.
Just gives it the steez across the wall.
Pro chilling.
Yeah, sort of just over a metre leftwards, that move.
And compared to what he can do on a rope or boulders, he is pro chilling at this point. This is where he could ramp it up a little bit in terms of speed, but he does only need to get to that next drop down jug to take the gold in the next 8 moves.
Yeah, 9 moves, I reckon. Hesitating all of a sudden.
Oh,
just
shake
up
of
short
the
on
head.
that.
He was trying hard.
Interestingly as well, Jessica just looked a bit spanned out there for a second.
If there's one thing that Jessica's well practiced at, it's figuring out how to get around her height being a problem.
Another big move. Also rope wrapping around the back of her head there. Will she just be able to get that untangled as she flips inverted?
Yeah. Oh! Fighting for it.
Fighting. He's fighting for this title. Rescued it.
Yikes.
From the jaws of defeat there.
Okay, I'm relaxed, Spike, and everybody else watching you.
Well, this is the move, though, dear. This is where this competition is going to come down to. We're only 8 metres off the floor, and this is it.
It looks so close to him. It looks like he could static it.
For the win. Oh!
But he does take the win on countback.
Yes.
Oh, what a shame for the boys.
Nobody gets past that move. 21 into hold 22.
It's so bizarre as well because they're capable of so much harder moves, but I think when you're put in a situation of the stress and the pressure and you only get in one go, it makes you climb a bit funny sometimes, and I think you can see it in the boys' body language when they're on the wall.
Yeah,
a
that
bit
one,
flustered by some of these moves.
That one, we'll check with the scores as they come in. We'll keep an eye on Jessica Ward as well. That one's going to go back to qualifying to be separated. They had the same score in semi-finals. I'm pretty sure that one will go back to qualies. Wow, what a brutal outing that was. That was over very, very quickly. Jessica Ward, on the other hand, is going nicely here. So we're coming up to the move then that's going to decide this competition between first and second. Florence Nuttall currently with 33 plus, that's it. She has gone past it, high point. She's been dominant all weekend here, Jess Ward. Crushed it in the semi-finals by topping that route, the only climber to do so. And is still in control here in this cryptic upper section. Ooh, dirty right hand. Foot has just stood on a little jib, but it's enough. She looks disappointed, but as soon as she looks around, she will know that she has done enough.
She won't know right now. Just needs to make a little bit of eye contact with someone so that she can know. Interestingly, in the boys, Arthur Ogden did qualify ahead of Spike in qualifications. Currently sitting in number 1 on the leaderboard, but there's people running around, so who knows what's going to happen. So stand by for scores because there's potential that these are going to change all over the shop with appeals that might come in.
Yeah, this one is. It's really close.
So we're just looking through the qualification
Let's
scores
stick with
just
what
to
we
try
know.
and work it out.
Let's do the known knowns. Jessica Ward smashed this competition to pieces with 37. didn't top the final route, but was easily comfortably ahead of the rest. Florence Nuttall is going to take away the silver with 33 plus, and Polly Taylor and Brooke McMeekin, Mia Gallagher just behind, but it is Polly Taylor who takes the third place. They will be very happy with their weekend's work. That is good enough to do what they needed to do for the selectors to select the appropriate people going through for the British team, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of those on the youth circuit this year. In the men's competition, it's Spike Forward. Due to count back, he takes it to 21 plus. Well, look at the scores. 21 plus, 21 plus, 21 plus. Then 18s after that. Bit of a nightmare from the route setters, that one. This route is shared with the next round as well. So hopefully we'll start to see somebody getting a bit further than that later on. And you can join us for that stream at 6:30 tonight in just 26 minutes time. So go get yourself a drink, cup of tea or something stronger if you're an under 17 boys parent. And we will be back with you very, very shortly.
A good friend of mine describes being introduced to climbing as one of the best gifts he ever received. So if we think of introducing people to the outdoors and climbing, mountaineering as a beautiful gift, then why would we deprive anyone from it?
Okay. Classically, moving together means a number of climbers that are moving at the same time, usually joined by a rope. Being part of the BMC is being part of a really amazing community. Every type of person, you know, from all walks of life, and everybody's included.
Meeting people who share values and interests all around the world.
It's brilliant to have organisations like the BMC that are able to provide spaces and resources for communities to grow.
It all focuses around enabling people to do the climbing that they want to do.
Try and connect with people. I think that's the most valuable thing you can do with your climbing. Share ideas, share creativity. I think it's the biggest aspect of climbing for me, is the community.
Everybody is cheering for everybody. It's a really nice community to be a part of. adventure means different things to different people. Having an enjoyment of the outdoors and having a sense of adventure, you learn to think quickly under pressure.
Well, I think it's a tricky thing because at one level you could say it's a sort of an adrenaline addiction, but I'm not an adrenaline sort of a person really. You need to be prepared yourself and sometimes taking guidance from somebody else as well.
Adventure is good for your well-being.
So I find myself very easily distracted on my phone. And I find that when I'm outside, when I am halfway up a cliff, when I am hiking with friends, all of that sort of takes the back seat a bit.
Sometimes normal life can be quite stressful, but adventure climbing and getting yourself out there can just help you manage those tricky moments.
The freedom it gives me, particularly as a full-time wheelchair user, it's mentally and physically challenging, and it's something I can do with all my friends.
A large part of making things accessible is role modelling.
It's not exclusive to top climbers, it's not exclusive to competition climbers or whatever. Everybody can come and have a go.
We have a part to play in breaking down the barriers that prevent people from going into the outdoors.
It's lovely when we can come together from diverse backgrounds, we can come together from very different genders and ages.
We're all guests anyway, whether we're in the Peak District or in the Himalaya, and part of the delight of being in places is to be with other people and involve people in the excitement that it gives me anyway.
I believe that representation matters. When you can see people that look like you, that gives you the confidence, the courage, the ability to dare to be.
The BMC reps, working with access, this is crucial, and for me it's one of the most important things because the access to the outdoors is just so important. They're constantly working with landowners, farmers, making sure paths are in good state of repair, making sure we have access to the cliffs. There's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes.
As individuals who are climbing a lot outdoors, you totally have a responsibility to not leave any mark.
These are beautiful places, and I think people should try and leave zero trace.
It's all about trust. It's all about moving together and trusting each other, and that's a really good example to use that in terms of the BMC, moving together, trusting each other going forward.
No, that's well nice, try it.
Go on. I think supporting each other, not just through climbing, but through life is quite important.